Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be getting a little bit wooty. So, I hope you guys are ready. So today I have very big plans. As you can see, I did go ahead and move my rainbow generator down there, and I was experiencing just a slight issue, and I can kind of tell you exactly what that was. And it had a lot to do with this. The way I had this set up originally, which I could probably even make this even simpler, but it wasn't extracting the bottles fast enough to go into a trash can, so what I had to do was actually make some of the speed upgrades, and now it's actually pulling the items out fast enough so that way this can constantly fill it and be good to go. And of course this is working as always. So this is now not flickering off or on at all anymore, and everything's doing good. The only thing we need to do is automate this, and as you can see, this nasty mess. When I come on, by the way, there was snow all the way up to the top of that roost. I hate the frosty generator, and I put it in such a bad spot. Like I did, I put it in between these two generators here. Ugh, but good thing I have milk like right there, so it's kind of a saving grace right there for us. But anyways, today let's actually start the automation process. It's going to be a bit for this generator right here. We need to make some dragon's breath, and I don't mean by killing the dragon. I don't mean that at all. I mean, technically we're going to be killing the dragon, but not in the normal, the classic sense. So to do that, we need to actually take a few steps back and kind of calculate what we need, because to get into Woot, we're going to need this metal right here. The Steigen, I think it's how it's pronounced. I could be wrong, but we need iron ore. We can't do this without iron ore, and we have to progress to get there. But luckily for us, this stuff is EMCable. Now, you guys may be saying, oh, you don't have to make it, you can just get the tome. And I kind of, every time I've been saying, I won't do the tome until last minute, because it, to me, would make it so much easier on the pack. And I don't want to make this easier, like, at all. I don't, like I said, I don't even want to use the tome, because I know what the tome's going to do. It's going to unlock just literally everything, and it's going to be a mess also sifting through all of our items in the transmutation tablet, which would be, yeah, kind of a headache for me. So, none of this is really EMCable. Like, some of this is, the casings are, but most of the stuff is actually not EMCable. So, yeah, we're going to actually have to put some work in to get this going. Some of the things that are, of course, are going to be able to be used, and of course, we're going to use these. Also, getting mobs is going to be something that we're actually going to have to shoot for as well. We're going to have to set up platforms for our actual mobs to spawn, and, you know, so we can actually capture them. That's going to be what we're going to end up doing. So, to get started, we need to get iron ore. And there's a few ways we can do that. To get iron ore, let's see, we could go with the Orchid route, we can go the Industrial Foregoing Laser route, which I've actually not set up, which is the one that I want to do today. Or we can go the Vordor Miner, which is another way. Or there's actually a small chance that you can get them from scrap boxes, and you can get scrap boxes from scrap, which you get from a recycler. And of course, you can just throw junk into a recycler to get scrap. That's another way. I don't recommend that way. It'll take forever. I think with it being, what, 0.48% chance, you basically have like a 1 in 2,000 chance in getting it, something like that. So yeah, don't recommend that. You'll have to make tons of them, and it's not a very fast machine. So, let's get started. We need to jump into Industrial Foregoing, I guess. I would guess that this would probably be the best and fastest way of getting ourselves where we need to be. So, Industrial will do mine, right? Because if you left click on the miner, which actually it's laser, right? Is it not called the laser? Yes, the laser drill and the laser base. Okay, so we should have all this, right? We should have most of the stuff in here. The laser drills, each one of these are EMCable, thankfully, so we only have to make one. The laser base is going to be the central block, which all of the things are going to pipe into, and where the actual ores are going to come from. So that's one of the things we actually need to worry about. And this is the main one. We only need one of these. And we should have, I think, everything for this. Let's go ahead and make some diamond gears, even though I think we have some diamond gears in here. Yeah, we have literally everything for this. So, the laser base, and then the laser drill. Now, this is going to require a white lens, which requires pink slime, And then also it requires some, not stained glass. Does it require white stained glass? It might actually. Let's get some glass and we'll get some bone meal. We'll make ourselves some white stained glass. I don't have a problem with that. There we go. White stained panes. Good to go. Right, so we'll make one of these. Yeah, we only need one because we're actually crafting the main drill for right now. And there we go. Perfect. And these are both also EMCable. So if you ever want to make more of these later on, which I don't really think we will, we can do that. But let's go ahead and grab 3 more of the actual laser drills themselves. And then we need some points to give this thing some power. And then an ender chest, which I don't think I have made an ender chest yet. We can do an ender chest. Oh, yeah, the actual ender chest mod here. So we're going to need 2 of these, and we're also going to need a diamond. This is what we're going to use to actually transfer our items around. And then we're also going to get some dye. Let's see. For this, I guess we can do red. I think I might have some red dye. I know I have all the dye colors. Let's do pink. We'll do pink all around the board. We'll do 6 pieces of pink. So what I can do is actually go ahead and program these. And basically these are just linking chests that you can pipe items out of. You can't pipe items out of a normal chest. So this is what you need to do. And when you set this, I'm pretty sure this sets it to your player data. And so that way people in servers can't actually come over here and access this. And then all you have to do is just change the colored channel so they're matching, and these will both be the same. And you can also pipe items out of it. If you've never seen that before, it's a good way of transferring items wirelessly, is to use this. Very cheap and simple. Okay, so with that done, we should be just about ready to go. I'm going to place one of the chests right here just so we can access it. And let's go down below. I do have my jetpack on. And we're also going to need some placement blocks, so cobble. Not octuple compressed, that would be a nightmare. So let's head down here. And I'm going to do this actually directly below here. Right? So let's place this. I need to place it 2 blocks down. This is actually going to be where we place the base. The laser base going right there. And then a block away in each direction. So I need to place some cobblestone here. And then we're going to place our laser drill. And I don't think it matters. It might, but I don't think it does. No, it doesn't really matter which direction as long as we're placing it like that. Against the cobblestone. And we have some room to rest here, so that's perfect. And all you got to do is break this up. And voila. We have this set up. Right, so let's go ahead and get our points ready to go. Because the points need to go in the back to give this some power. And we'll set this to our main input. As of right now, our network is actually going to change eventually, but not yet. We don't have to worry about it just yet. So I'm giving this some power. There we go. Actually, probably doesn't use that much power, to be honest. I think you can even put fortune upgrades in this thing, much like we did our other enchants, if you want to get more. Not actually a major issue. So, with all that set up, we should be getting some power, and now it's actually starting to work. Yeah. It doesn't look like there's any upgrade slots. I don't think these are upgrade slots. This is for your lenses. Yeah, you can put lenses in here, and the lenses will help you get, or have a better chance of actually getting the item you want. But, yeah, it's actually working now. I don't see the laser shooting down. But, as you can see, it is actually collecting items for us. But literally, all we need, we put that there. Okay, so it doesn't export directly into it, which is fine. We'll collect this. We'll get ourselves a item transfer node, or item conduit. Me coming up with new names for everything. If it has a name and I can't remember it, I just make a new one. Alright, there's that. Insert, and we should be good. So, that should be pulling items out, going in here, and there's our iron ore. That's literally all we had to do. So now this thing is going to be generating just about every ore we will ever need. And we can now get into Woot. That's all we were waiting for. And as you can see, I can access all of that down here. And the rainbow generator is going to be way more than enough power at this moment to get this going. Awesome. So here's our ore. Let's get started, hopefully, with Woot. So, yeah, Woot is its own beast. Let's just take a look at this. To get started, I need this anvil. But I need this first. So I'm going to need to make some of this ore, which we're going to need netherrack, soul sand, and an actual hammer. This is a special hammer called the Yaw hammer. And we're going to need that to actually make this ore. Perfect. And I want to check to see if underneath our mob section, where's it at? Right here? Yeah, it requires us to have these items on us. And I guess claim that. Maybe I need to make a fresh Yaw hammer. Yeah, because I just had to make a new... Oh, it needs to be in my inventory. So there we go. Yaw hammer. That ore. There we go. We can claim our money. And I don't think it consumes it. Oh, it did consume item. Oh boy. It actually consumed it. Hopefully we have another piece in here. We do. Good. So yeah, it actually did consume our thing. So just keep that in mind when you do go to claim that. Awesome. So let's go over here and cook it up real quick. Shouldn't take us very long. I think we have our furnace here. And now we have that ingot. I need to save this. It is important, imperative that we save this thing. Very, very much. Because we're going to need a bunch of them, right? We may even need more than that. I don't know. We'll find out as we go. But this gets serious. No joke. Alright, so to do this, we need a block of this stuff. Then we're going to need to make the actual anvil. So the anvil is another part, and you can see it kind of coaches you along here about each individual part. But we need to make a factory controller and a factory heart. These two are not exactly the order that I want to go in, I don't think. Because I want to actually make this, which is the factory layout block. So let's make the factory layout block. And this will actually demonstrate why. And then we're going to make the intern. So let's make sure we have all of these blocks. Pretty sure I have some of those. Yeah, and let's go ahead and place this. And then I also need another factory layout block. Let's just make sure. I need to find out where I'm going to place this, and probably going to be our office tree over here that we placed a while back ago. Oh man, it's just too much. Alright, we'll get you out of here as well. There we go. Awesome. Now, this thing, I want to see how big it is. And now, I know it needs to be lifted up off the ground one block. And you can see here, or actually needs to go down a block. Like, because the platforms actually stick up. Just so weird for this. But we'll see. I'm going to put it here, and then we're going to raise it up. To the top tier. This is going to be the top tier. So as you can see, it actually does fit. And it fits just like it's supposed to. And it should fit there. But I do need to drop it down one. Drop it down one block. Yeah, as you can see, we're going to have a lot of blocks ahead of us. A lot. Place that there. And then we can go. There we go. So this is what it's hopefully going to look like when we're done. Yeah, lots of stuff. And you can see here, it tells you everything we're going to need. We're going to need a tier 1 to build the factory. Let's see. Make sure this is tiered up. Tier 5. So you can see right here, we're going to need 10 factory flesh castings, 14 factory bone castings, 35 factory blaze castings, 60 factory ender castings. Yeah, a lot of stuff. 95 factory nether castings. The main thing is we're also going to need the controllers and stuff for this. So the 4 factory upgrade bases, just basically a lot of different stuff, which all require different things over here. Let's see. Let's take a look at this real quick, because the factory controller is something we're going to have to take a one of these and to upgrade this thing with. You can see right here, this is how you actually make the controller and tell it what it is. As you can see right here, it requires an ender shard. And the ender shard, basically, to make this, you need to make it inside of an anvil. But you need to hit a mob with this to capture it. To program it. So if we want to get a dragon in here, we're going to have to hit a dragon with this shard to get it programmed, hopefully. And we're probably going to need a nether star shard in order to do that. Almost 100%. There's used to gain experience while sneaking full stack. You almost guarantee you're going to have this in order to get that. That seems like the top tier. You have the emerald shard, diamond shard, and nether shard. There's no, yeah, this has got to be the best one. So yes, we'll have to do that. We'll have to make those shards that way in order to get this controller set up properly. But, like I said, there's going to be a bit to this. So let's go ahead and take our anvil here. And this is what kind of tripped me up the first time I used this new updated part of this mod. I wasn't actually ready for this. So let's take a look here. We still need our hammer on us because we're going to use it for this. But we need a few things. So we need to make sure this is turned off. If this is not turned off, we're going to have some issues. So, let's take a look here. So, 10 of factory flesh blocks, right? Factory flesh casings. That's going to require a factory base, as you can see here. To make the factory base, you need this iron plate. And the iron plate is actually made, it shows it's made like this, but it's used here. I don't think I can just make it like that. I guess I can. Okay. So maybe this is not the best demonstration of the use of this block. Yeah, I don't think it's the best demonstration. But let's go ahead and make this a soul stone. This is something else we're going to need. So I can actually make soul stone and EMC it. So let's grab a bit of that. Soul stone. So we'll grab some of that, just so we have it all in here. And let's make, what, 10 of these we need? We'll just go down the list. That's what we're going to have to do. 10 of those. So we're going to need each of these casings. Yeah, at least 10 of them, I think. And as you can see, it did actually consume the main casting. So it consumed this, which means we're going to need a few of those. I don't actually know how many we're going to need just yet. But we'll work on it as we go. So you can see, we're definitely going to need a bunch of those, but we get 12 of them for right now. These are even EMCable, so that should make it a little bit easier for us. And we're going to need 10 of these flesh cases. Perfect. And these are actually EMCable as well, which I guess that makes it a little bit easier on us. So if we take that, we can learn it in there. And grab some more. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 of those, right? And we need to keep going down. So 14 bone casings. I want to find the one. Let's do one that's that's not as easy to make. And one that actually requires you to craft. These caps. So like something like this cap. If we're going to make this tier 1 upgrade, or even working towards the controller, we're going to need these controller cores. So we have to do something. So let's take a look here. Which one we need? We're going to need 2 factory tier 1 caps. Definitely. Factory tier 1 caps. So factory upgrade base. Here's a tier 1 cap. So you can see it requires a quartz shard, skeleton head, and a cap, and of course a factory base. The quartz shard is going to require a shard die. So we're going to need one of these plates with some nether quartz, and this is the weird thing that I said you have to worry about. So let's do this craft inside the anvil. We need one of these plates and a piece of core. So let's actually get some plates. I do want to throw this inside here. And then we're also going to get quartz to do this craft. Awesome. So let's take one of these plates, and what you need to do is take the plate, right-click it on there, or toss it on there, sorry. And also toss a piece of quartz on there as well. And it might be a little bit difficult to get them both on there, just kind of stand. And then you should be able to hit them with your hammer. At least I think. Am I doing the recipe wrong? Which one am I doing? Doing the quartz shard, right? So I need the plate. And I need the nether quartz. Nether quartz and then the plate. So nether quartz, then throw the plate on. That's where I said it can kind of get... Anvil must be sitting on a magma block. Oh, that's right. We are going to need a magma block. I forgot about that. It's got to be sitting on top of this. So, all we got to do is kind of exchange this out. Let's break that. Let's make sure it's heated up. There we go. Awesome. Place that on top. Remember, throw that back on there again. And voila, hit it. And it shoots off. And now you have this shard die. And now, when you want to actually make this shard, you can place this down and then throw that on top. And now that actually makes the quartz shards. And that's how you have to do these crafts. It's kind of weird, but that is how you have to do it. And that's why I said a lot of this is going to be very tedious to get this done, because we are shooting for the top tier. And the top tier is not easy, simply because of the top tier. We're going to be making dragons. Auto-killing dragons. Like, that's how easy this is going to be. So, now that we have that done, at least we can start working on our main upgrades. And like I said, we're going to need a bunch of those. So you need to go take the factory upgrades all the way up to tier 7 caps. Or, not tier 7, I'm reading it wrong. Tier 4, which is the top tier. But we still need to work on the top 2. So let's make our 2 upgrades first. So factory tier 1 caps. We need 2 of these. So here's our core piece, which is going to require this die. So we need redstone and then one of those plates. What we're going to need. So, plates and redstone. Perfect. Piece of redstone down. Drop a plate on here. And whack it with our hammer. And we'll get ourselves another template. This is going to be the core die. And all these are you're pretty much going to use for every single one of these. Different crafting recipes. So making them in bulk is probably going to be the best thing to do. Let's go back to this. And we need to make the cap. So that's going to be one of the plates and a piece of redstone. And you're going to have to throw this on top. So we need a block of redstone. Well, let's kind of get some more room in here. Don't really need our main tools or anything like that. So we'll place down the core die. And we need to throw one of these on here and here. And bam. We end up getting the core. Just like that. Is there any way to automate this, you may be saying? I don't think so. Because at least in this pack, there's not. There's nothing really in here that is going to right-click for you. So that would be the only thing you'd be able to use. A way to automate this would be like having something right-click. And then you could do that, but yeah, it's not happening. So that's going to be the only thing that you have to worry about, really, manually, is this mod right here. So with that all done, we have factory bases that we can actually EMC. And I don't think I have them in here yet, so let's get them in EMC'd. Let's make sure all of this stuff is wrapped up inside here. And dump all of this, like all the stuff we have stored up in here we don't really need. And then we'll pull out all the specific Woot stuff. Okay, so I definitely need these dies. I don't think I need the factory bases because we'll worry about those later. And the other die is actually over here. So, we should be good. And heads, we have tons of heads. Or at least we should. From back when we had a mob farm, so I shouldn't have to worry about them too much. So, tier 1 upgrade caps. Bam, there's the first one. Now remember, we need another one, so redstone block. And we're going to need a few of those plates. But it should be as simple as doing this, you know, just make another one. And there we go. There's our upgraded tier 2 cap. And of course I want to keep this in here so I can just have a reference page. As you can see, 10 flesh, we have them right there. 2 of the tier upgrade caps. Next we need, I need to go through each one of the factory casings. So that's going to be a big part. And then I'm going to go ahead and make each of the upgrades. And they're just going to get increasingly more, they're just going to get more and more difficult as we go. But I'm going to show you guys next how to set up the prisms and stuff after I get all of this done crafting. So at this point, I pretty much have everything ready to go for this. I have almost everything made. The only thing I haven't worked on is upgrades. But I have all of these main blocks that we need to build this thing. All we got to do now is get the main parts, which is the controller and the heart. And we're fixing to go get the controller. We need to program this first. So we need an ender shard, and we need to be able to actually program the ender shard. So I went ahead and made the flux infused quiver, just so that way we can kill this guy pretty easy after we're done. I don't want to kind of leave the dragon just lingering around. We might as well take him out. So we're going to take the nether star. We're going to need the end crystals, just a few of them. And let's go ahead and eat some cake. And oh yeah, we're going to make it here. Now, we have flight, so we'll go ahead and get that done. We've already fought the dragon once, so it's not that big of a deal. For me anyways. Let's go ahead and make sure we have some ground underneath us. Like I said, we do have flight, so it's our old jetpack. Now, okay. There are crystals here for some reason. That's weird. Like, oh, it's because I think... I actually don't know. The dragon not spawning? Dragon should totally be spawning. There it goes. Yeah, looks like we should definitely spawn. So what we have to do is apparently hit the mob with this shard to capture. So we hit it with it. Kill the mob, or kill mobs to fully program. So do we have to kill the dragon with this to fully program it? That's going to be fun, if that's actually the case. That will be hilarious. Now I am in some pretty strong gear. So, I mean, shouldn't take too long. But we do need, like I said, to program this thing. So, like, catching up with the dragon. I don't even know if we can get to it, to hit it. Probably not. We'll have to wait for it to, like, land. It says captured mob. But I haven't killed it yet. Okay, so what I figured is, yeah, you don't actually have to kill it with hitting this thing. I accidentally overkilled it with the bow, and it actually linked it. So I didn't have to go through any of that punching it with this like a derp. I was actually able to get it right away. So, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and go through here. Oh gosh. Taking damage as we go. Going our way out. But yeah, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad at all. So, let's head back home. And we'll take a look here. So, what all do we need to do now? Which, I mean, we shouldn't have too much left. Not too much at all. So, we have the Ender Shard. That's the main piece we need to actually link to this. Now, we're going to need a controller core, and the controller cores require this prism. We actually used a prism back in the day. That's actually how you would actually make the controller. And I remember playing this back in 1.10, back in like OG Woot, when it first came out. So, this is actually kind of new for me to go all the way to top tier with this thing. So, now that we have this, let's go ahead and make those. Shouldn't be too bad. We just need our stamp, which I think is already on it. Take our core out. As you can see, here's all the pieces that we're actually going to need to set this guy up. So, to do this, to make the actual controller core, we need to make the controller core. Let's make the prism. Prism should be pretty easy. There we go. And what else do we need for the prism? Okay, just the prism and the plate. That's it. So already standing here, we have the prism. One plate. By the way, you don't have to throw them directly on there. I did find that out. You can just literally throw them to the block, and it also works, so you don't have to put it directly on there if you don't want to. So, now we have the controller core. That means we should be able to combine that with the Ender Shard itself by taking this off, placing the Ender Shard directly on here. Right? Taking the controller core and a frame base. Like so. So, tossing a frame base and the core. Whacking it there, and that gets us a controller linked to an Ender Dragon. And a tier 4 is what we need. Perfect. Now, last but not least, we need an Ender Heart, so we need a Heart Core, which I've already made the Heart Core. And that should be our last and final piece of this puzzle. Right? All of this should be done. And I should now have everything, hopefully, that I'll need. Okay, so let's just make sure. Let's go back to Woot. Each one of these is going to need to be in our inventory. Some of them more than others. The other thing that I had to make that was pretty difficult in itself, just because I needed enchantment, so I had to go get levels and stuff like that, which I had levels down below, was the premium power cell. I needed this max tier power cell, which has like a rabbit hole of crafting. And that's the only thing I made off camera that was a little bit more difficult. And it just required just keeping in mind that you have to have enchantment books and also an Ender Dragon egg. But other than that, we're pretty good. I think we're ready to build this. This should be everything. As long as this is telling me correctly that this is all we need, we should be good. And it didn't tell me we needed a heart or the controller, but I already knew that from the last time I've built one of these. Because it does show it here. It shows the heart and the controller. Right here. So, last but not least, let's get this thing built. Now, I can build it with this by right-clicking on here. By holding shift, I think. I think it's shift or punching it. Actually, I don't remember which one it is. Tier 5. Tier 5. Please tell me I can actually build this thing. Maybe you have to be at the bottom. Like, I should be able to build it automatically with what's in my hand. Unless it needs some area to be cleared out or something. Yikes, that could be an issue as well. Is there stuff in the way? That's not in the way. I mean, I guess I could start building it by hand. That's going to be kind of a pain, because I don't actually know exactly what every single one of these blocks do. You can sort of tell here, but from the thing that this says, I mean, it says builds the factory for you. That's what it's supposed to do. I'm going to go ahead and break the blocks around it. To make sure. We have no blocks down here that should be messed with from doing this. I don't know. So. The factory layout should be, unless I need to place the controller down and then hit from the controller. That might be that might be what I need to do. I could check my guidebook. Let's check our guide. So how to build, right here. Changes modes. Can use Electron to build a factory for you, but it doesn't tell you how exactly. As a tool, okay. It will place all the factory blocks for you. Taking them from your inventory. Place the factory heart in the world and hold right click with the enter tool. Okay. So we need the heart. So basically we need to place the heart. It's good to know. And I believe that this is the heart. It's wanting the heart right here. Good. So we should be good. So if I click this. I know I didn't read the book all the way. Place the factory heart in the world. Then hold a right click with the Electron tool, and then the blocks will be placed in The blocks will be placed for that particular tool. Okay. Make sure we're set to the right tier. Stand on this thing. And just right click. And it is placing it, it looks like. Yes. It is actually placing the blocks. That's awesome. It is taking a little bit of time to do it, but it does place it. Cannot replace blocks at Y position here. But no, it's actually working. It's like doing a scan. There it goes. Place those blocks. Oh, sweet. And then hopefully when it's done, still not done. Still placing a lot of blocks. This thing is huge, by the way. It's got a lot of blocks in it. Placing it by hand would be a nightmare. We should be getting close to the finished product. Almost. And a couple more. Right? This is all placed. This guy's built. Yeah, everything's out, ready to go. All we need to do is place down our factory controller block, which goes right here. Ender Dragon. So this thing is basically set. We do have a couple more blocks we need to be placed. But last but not least, we get the hammer action going. But I want to place this underneath. We do have a few things that need to go underneath. Under the bottom, underneath this. We're going to have a power cell. It's going to go here. And then we're going to place the importer and then the exporter. The importer is going to go above the exporter. So import items, and then we're going to export items through here. Go ahead and break that. And I guess I need more of my wood. Right? What is this? This is dark oak. Not the right stuff. This stuff. So yeah, I can actually close this off. We don't actually need to see in there. And there we go. So right here is going to be an exporter and an importer. We're actually going to have the items automated going into this thing. Otherwise it won't run. But as you can see right now, the multi-block is completed. Everything did close up as it was supposed to. And you can see all it needs now is some power, and these are the items it's going to give us. So what we're going to do is we're going to route these items that are EMCable here back into the system only to provide ender crystals. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So a chest, or actually I guess we can use a condenser. Right, we can use an energy condenser, and it should be able to pull out the energy condenser. And we'll set it to crystals for the input, and then we'll use roost. We'll get some emerald chickens. And let's see if this thing will actually work. So right here will be the input. And we'll make sure this is set to that. Right, and we'll use roost here. Flat transfer nodes to make it look all nice and fancy. Put our emerald chicken in there. That should work. And anytime an end crystal goes in there, we should be able to send it. Now, we need a point to send power here, but I have heard there be a few issues with these points disconnecting every now and then if the multi-block gets changed in any way. But we're going to send power to this thing. So power is going there now. Now we're going to need a chest. And I guess I'm just going to make an ender chest. Same one we made earlier. So this same sort of idea. Except for we're going to use diamond. We're going to set this purple. And we're going to have these all set up. Set these all to purple, because this is technically going to go to a specific location, use only for a specific item. Perfect. Awesome. So we have that done. Let's go ahead and set this here. This is going to export into a chest, so whenever it does complete its task, it should import it there. Awesome. Now all we have to do is technically set up a flat transfer node right here. Let's go ahead and get that. Remember, if you hold shift, it does the reverse, or hold control, places it on there backwards, which is nice. I don't know why the bottle stayed in there. It's kind of weird. What we should be able to do is place that on there. Now that's going to pull out of that ender chest, and everything should hopefully work. That was kind of a delay, wasn't it? Alright. So, that's pretty much done. We're out of this, that's why that thing went off. But other than that, we should be pretty good. Let's go take a look at our Woot. You know what, skeleton? Get wrecked. So as you can see, this is working, but we need end crystals in here. It did start its first set of end crystals, pulling them in there. So I'm assuming that it is pulling them in there. Yes, it is. So it is taking a little bit of time. So this is actually a preset thing. It has enough power. It just actually takes spawning time. Well, we can increase that with some upgrades. There are a few upgrades we can use, and I'm going to go ahead and show you those. We can actually make efficiency upgrades and speed upgrades as well. There are rate upgrades. I'm not so worried about power, so rate upgrades would probably be a good thing to do. And get max to your rate upgrades. But as of right now, this should technically work. Once this actually gets these items to spawn in here, once this actually completes its task, we will get a bottle of Dragon's Breath. Only one, but it's better than nothing. And like I said, we do have plenty of power. It did drain a little bit of power from us. Quite a bit, actually. And should tell us all right here how much it actually used. 9 million RF total is what it did, just for one dragon. So I'm going to work on some of these upgrades. I'm going to get some of these upgrades made, and then I'll come back and you guys can actually see how crazy this thing can get. So with this, we have now officially got everything set up. Now, last but not least, I mean, we are gathering a few EMCable items that will eventually start to build up. The only thing I would probably recommend doing is maybe just taking a condenser. So just taking another condenser, just putting in like octuple compressed cobblestone in it, and using a item transfer or item filter, which I think was right above that, and just hooking that into that ender chest. And you don't even have to be down there to do it. You can do it up here and give yourself a little bit of room. So we'll just make another one of those ender chests. Just need one, and make sure you put the purple, and make sure you get diamond on it or on that thing. And you should be pretty good to go. I'm just going to set it right here for right now. So I'll put the chest there. Make sure I color coordinate it. Purple. Diamond on the front. And we can see inside now. You can see we are getting plenty of Dragon's Breath. But all these other items are actually EMCable, so that's what we want to filter out. And have it go inside here. So we'll just place this. Set the filter in place on the extract. Pull out one of each item. And make sure they're actually getting filtered. So we'll put one of those in there, that, and the dragon egg. Set that to always active. In insert. That should pull out those items, and make sure this is set to octuple compressed. And from there, it's smooth sailing. So the only thing that should be left in this chest now is Dragon's Breath, and that's exactly what we want. And this should always now stay running. And this is what those upgrades look like, by the way. First of all, we gotta get rid of these guys. And probably gotta get some torches. Mini torches actually probably would look pretty good on here. But yeah, these are the top tier upgrades. This is not actually upgraded. So whenever I placed them, I was like, oh man, it's not actually going to work. Because it only increases their rate. And I think you can only have one totem at a time. So I kind of felt bad whenever I placed those. And I was like, I just sat here and crafted all that. So yeah, I was kind of hurt there just for a minute, but I got over it. So any other place? I mean, we can put a torch right here in the center maybe. Shouldn't affect it. You do need an empty hand. If you can't access the inventory, you just need an empty hand. As you can see right here, it's showing the ingredients. I mean, we may even need to reroute the items to go directly into here. No, it's doing fine. It actually does pull out of this chest, by the way, so keep that in mind. And yeah, we're keeping up. I mean, it's keeping up. The power is able to be kept up with. We can actually take a look at the power consumption real quick. Let me break these down because these aren't actually doing anything for us right here. So what I have here though is rate upgrades. It's going to increase the speed at which this thing runs. It doesn't do it by much, but it does go pretty fast. And if you also want to increase the speed and you have enough power, of course you can acceleration 1 this bad boy. No joke, that does work. And so if you want to make this go a little bit faster, kind of give it a jump start, you can hold that acceleration wand on here and just let it do its thing. And it's basically being limited, I think, at the moment by this transfer limit cap. So let's turn that off. And now it shouldn't have a transfer cap. Yeah, now it can go as fast as possible. And I think its default is... It's okay. It's an okay speed. But yeah, like I said, you can make this thing go really fast and just keep doing it over and over again with this acceleration wand. If you absolutely need it to. But like I said, well, here's the efficiency upgrade. This is going to help reduce the amount of power it's going to cost. This is going to increase the amount of dragons actually spawn. So as you can see, Ender Dragons times 4. So each time this process goes through, it should spawn 4 Ender Dragons and kill them. Giving us, of course, 4 of each of these items. This is actually a 20% chance drop, whereas all these, this is 20%, this is always 100, and this is always 100. So you're always going to get Dragon's Breath, and you're always going to get a Dragon's Egg. So just keep that in mind, and you should be ready to rock and roll. And that's Woot, guys. We've officially done Woot. And now we will permanently have this. So, we have all this power, right? But nowhere to store it. And I think next episode, we're going to utilize as much of this block as possible for power. I know there's creative power. I know it's in this pack. I know you can get it. But that's not my goal. My goal is to see how well I can get this thing going and keep it running. That's something really cool. I'm just like experimenting with this rainbow generator a little bit. And now that we have it finally fully fledged, completely automated, it should never shut off, even when I leave and everything. This should always stay running. We should be good. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And, also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.